Mole.
Mole.
With hair.
Molly. Whatever you do, do not mention his mole.
Right.
Mole. Love that movie.
One of the things I love about these games is that, first of all, I don't think this one's going to become like...
a full-on series.
Well, not a full-on... No. Where it gets to... Okay, for example, Farmville. Or, it got to a point where it was like a full-on job because if you didn't catch your crops in time, they were going to rot off.
Die, and then you had the stuff that was like a special reward if you logged in every day. And
trying to maintain... Well, this one does have one for when you log in.
Yeah, but I highly doubt it's like you had with Farmville where it's like, ooh, I really want that.
Right. It's like, oh, look, it's the pink sheep today.
Yeah. And it's just... I played Farmville a bit. Like, I fought so hard against playing Farmville when I first got my Facebook account, and everyone was like, you should play Farmville, No, don't get the boxes. Dirt.
They remind me of Goombas.
Yeah. You know what? They do. Little shiitake mushrooms.
They are like little shiitake mushrooms.
Which is funny because, little fun fact, never say you didn't learn anything on this channel. Goomba is actually chestnut in Japanese. And when they made them, they looked more like the shiitake mushrooms.
Right.
And that's why in, I think, Mario 3... I
think he's stuck.
He looks stuck. You might want to free him. I think it's Mario 3, they look more like chestnuts than they do the shiitake mushrooms. And they're still the Goombas, but... that's another series that I'd love to do on this. We need to do more Mario, because... When I first got out here, we were playing a lot of the Mario games and sucking and failing at them.
I need more bats.
You do need more bats. More bats. Alright, stop bats. Wow, thanks. It must smell like... Oh, okay. You're pulling a Clockworks on that one.
What?
Look, storyline skip.
Oh, no, he was just saying thank you for completing the quest because the time ran out.
I figured as much.
That's the other thing. This game does have a variety of that. Kill X amount,
right.
Help X many, survive this long.
It's not just, the World of Warcraft route where it's, collect X amount of goat hoofs. Because that just bothered the shit out of me, especially because it's like, okay, that should be easy. Goats
I love games like this. Everything is so cute.
It is. It really is. It's like MapleStory, but a little bit more extensive.
I had a hard time playing that one.
You know what? I
mean, I played it, and I don't know if it... I don't want to say it was the graphics necessarily, because they're adorable.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. 80 million RPGs out there. At some point, you are going to pick them for what they look like.
Yeah.
It gets down to that point.
It gets to a point where it's like... Oh, what's going to be new in this RPG?
Right.
Are you going to fight blobs or are you going to fight rats?
The classes become the same,
I do like that this one incorporated the monk in, but...
Which is something you don't normally see.
Yeah, they brought it in with...
I was kind of surprised because it's like they took the monk instead of like a ranger class.
Yeah, most people it would be like your standard warrior, ranger, and then mage. Your spell slinger, you've got your smash and bash, and then you've got your smash and bash, and then you've got your standard, bow and arrow, gun and bullet type individual. Usually has a pet. And that's one thing I liked about Torchlight 2.
Clockworks was picking on me for this earlier.
Was he?
Yeah, beating on the trees and the grass. But the thing is the trees and the grass drop things.
Right.
That you need.
Things that you can use to craft.
And I'll show you that. Well, it's things to craft, and then I'll show you...
The questy things, right?
Right. They're like little vendors or whatever, and they're asking for your help, and they're like, hey, bring me X amount of these.
Right.
Although I've noticed they're not very... They don't drop a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they did, that would just be kind of cheaty.
Agreed. But I also noticed it doesn't have the whole, ask your friends for this.
Right, and that's honestly good if you ask me. I hate games where it's like, you can't get this item that you need to complete this quest unless you ask your friends and they send you X amount. To me, that's just sort of kind of a cop-outy way, or when you can't complete a quest because you have to get an item that you have to pay for.
Right.
And that's what
and thus far, I have not come across that problem yet.
Right. That's what a lot of Facebook games did, is that they were just like...
Well, I understand wanting to get your game out there and everything, but when you're sitting there, and there's a couple games that do this, I don't mind the whole, like, oh, if you get this many friends, we'll give you this item that, you know, you don't really need, but it looks really cool.
Right, an aesthetic item.
But when it's okay, you have to have this many friends in order to open up this area.
Yeah, that's
a problem.
Bit bullshit. And it kind of falls under the same category or the same thing that I have with my channel.
Increase your sorcery.
I feel like your game should speak on your own, and I have the same thought with my channel. It's like I've gotten a couple of comments and I've complained about this in the channel multiple times, where it's like, hey, I really liked your video, I subscribed to you, you should go subscribe to me too. It's like, I love checking out new channels.
Right.
You know, I mean, I'm not going to say it's like, oh, I love Grayson.
There he is. Look at him!
I'll never be like, oh, I love gracing new channels with my presence and my subscribitude.
The thing is if you make a good game, people are gonna...
Exactly, and it's the same thing with everything. Like,
especially now with things like Facebook and this, where, you know, you can give that option of, hey, play this game, hey, I'm gonna invite you. But when it becomes forced like that, it just becomes annoying, really.
Yeah, I don't go onto Game Grumps and like, hey, I really like your channel. I'm a startup channel. You know, you should go. You should go check out what I do and see if you like it. But
may as well.
And I was talking to someone about it last night.
My feet are bare.
They are bare. I feel like more people.
See that?
Yeah, he just walked right by it.
He did. I'll admit that was a little disappointing.
What was the... I was playing World of Warcraft, and...
that time he didn't.
I was playing World of Warcraft, and I was charging up a Pyroblast, and then the guy moved, like, not even 2 feet away, and then he was out of range, and the Pyroblast canceled.
Oh.
So Dan looks at me and goes, apparently the only way to... or the best way to dodge a Pyroblast is to walk a little bit away.
So the AI on this is not
the most
that epic. No, it's not. Like, the characters will get stuck on a pixel. They can't figure out.
I've noticed that.
You have 2 options when it comes to movement. You can hold down the mouse and drag it where you want it to go.
Standard point and click.
Right, or just full-on click. And the thing about the clicking is, like I said, their AI is not that intelligent. So.
Yeah, I found with Torchlight, both of them, that one thing I choose to do is just click and hold and drag everything. But
so missed. I believe that skill, the more you level that up, the more bats it throws.
Hells yeah. It just licks you.
Yes.
I have to wonder if the guy that made this game got a little bit of inspiration for the bats from Castle Crashers.
That could be.
Because in Castle Crashers, one of the big...
I think something's poisoning me, but I have no idea what.
I don't know what his real name is, but I call him Bitey because he gives you an animal orb, and the animal orb's name is Bitey. And one of his attacks is that he licks you.
Right.
Or he licks, and if it hits you, it causes you to do damage, or to take damage. And
real quick mention. So I should have probably mentioned this earlier. The number 1 skill, it seems that every character starts off with that skill, and it buffs you up.
That makes sense. That's a good skill to have on your 1 slot. But I love seeing ideas from one game get transferred over into multiple games. And that's true with any media form, because, I mean, J.R.R. Tolkien...
So let me show you something else that's really good.
Show me something else that's really good.
So one of the things I hate is when you're stuck in a dungeon and your bag's full or whatever it may be.
I hate it.
Yeah, so you can go into your inventory at any time.
Okay.
And you can sell to get more room.
I feel like we were just doing an infomercial there.
Hey, look at that.